Welcome back to the Outpost. It's been a long week for all of us, both, here at the Outpost and, in the world, I guess you could say. And I think everybody that's watching pretty much gets what I'm talking about when it comes to that. But, so after day 2, it rained for a solid almost 3 days. We were fighting against flooding, both on the property and in the basement. So basically we got a ton of shit done, and now we pretty much have a road on the property, class 6 road. So here, let's check it. We relocated these big guys here, started creating what will eventually become a wall once we dig up more from the property. But this is where I typically do a lot of my filming, in that little nook there. Gives me privacy, but this was all kind of useless property for a while. This is where we had our scrap pile for some time now. So now this is coming through into here, and it leads out to here. I think I'm gonna make another enclosure here for our third rooster that doesn't have a flock, Easter. He's gonna live out here for now temporarily. I'm gonna set him up something nice like this. I already got the tarp for it. I got the materials going. And then we came out here and we dealt with all of this nasty storm damage, I guess you could say, right? Because it was just trees that were kind of falling into each other, and it was very dangerous. The reason why I didn't film it is because it was a bit too, I feel it was a bit too cowboy for YouTube. I'll be quite honest with you. We kind of do things a little differently here up in New Hampshire. We live free or die. And, we just get the work done. We just do what we got to do to get it done, because that's what this land that we live in up here dictates. It's a very rugged environment to survive in, and you really gotta work hard to be able to survive up here full time. So, but yeah, I'm super excited. Eventually, so this is kind of where the end of it is. This wasn't dug down nearly as much as the other portion, but we dug down some. We got rid of a lot of roots, some rocks. I got some bigger stones over there I'd like to add to the wall eventually. No rush on that. But eventually we're gonna level out here, this direction, all the way. And then eventually we'll start taking down these trees here, pushing them into the woods this way, cutting them up, adding them to the wall, which is now fully connected all the way around the perimeter of the property. This was the section that was extremely difficult to deal with. So you can see here, this was one set of trees that I had to pre-cut ahead of time. And my hands are clean this morning. I cleaned those. Like, I washed my hands before I came out here. Anyhow, oh my God, I'm getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. Do that mosquito dance. Mosquito dance. All right. So I had to cut these and a couple others ahead of time. And then there's a big tree over here that you can't really see anymore because I buried it. But there was a bunch that were like they came up halfway and then they were snapped at the midpoint, and they were leaning down hard this way. And then that tree was the one that had the widowmaker in it. We shook the widowmaker right out of it with the excavator. So that's gone now. And now this portion of the wall, pretty messy out there. If you were trying to come in with any kind of gear on or anything like that, yeah, you'd be making noise for days. We'd hear you well before you, and you'd be friggin' trying to get through that is not easy. So, but we got more to go. We got the midpoint here directly behind the house is a little weak, but you know, we'll get to it as it comes. It was like we were looking into buying property and stuff, and it's like, why buy when we could just min-max the property that we currently have? And so yeah, that's what we're doing. We're investing into our property. We're turning what was unusable garbage land into, you know, class 6 roads that can be used to have more things built on it, more projects done, more space for more shit, more sustainment, more long-term survival. But we're gonna make this a quick one because we're gonna film a bunch today, so keep an eye out. I'm not sure when I'm gonna actually release the others, but yeah, I wanted to kind of chop this up. But hey, thanks for coming out. Thanks for continuing to support. We're still growing in subscribers. It's slow, but you know, hey, it is what it is. Share me out there if you really feel like you need to help inspire some of your friends to change and maybe start turning their home into an outpost so you guys can survive the end of the world too. With that said, I'm Nomad. Take care, everyone.